Salaam, and greetings humans. It's been quite a while since I made a video, so I felt inspired to make one today. And I think it's gonna be kind of a combination of update and another look at my grief arts. So I think the last time I made a video was ages ago, literally. It would have been January or February. Yeah. So since then, I got engaged, and then I canceled my wedding last minute. Because it was last minute, all my family still came up to Minnesota, so we had, quite honestly, one of the best family reunions ever. And if I remember, I'll insert a picture here. Did you see it? And then after that, I went to chaperone prom at the high school that I work at. I actually had a really, really good time. Like, mashallah, it was really fun. And then the school year ended, and I left my job as a para. I'd been planning to leave for about a month. I gave them a month's notice, so that they could post my job if they wanted to. But again, it's not something that would have started right away. If somebody got it, it would start in the day after Labor Day, so in September. After that, I got a job at Joann Fabrics, which, if you don't know by the way in which I'm choosing to deal with my grief, which is art, of various forms, that I love crafts and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool to be able to work there. And I've only been working there for like a week and a half now. I was thinking really, really hard about leaving the state, just to kind of get have a new place to be, even though realistically, realistically, I was not going to go to a place that I'd never been before. I was probably going to move back to Georgia or Chicago, which would have been really fun and might still be in the cards. But we'll see where that goes for the time being. And I also have a second job in the pipeline, and that has kind of a long onboarding process, so I'm not going to really talk about that one yet until everything's all set. But that I'll probably start probably early to mid-August. I've also been really heavy into dehydrating and food preservation. I've made a couple. I didn't bring a jar up here because I didn't think about it, but I have nectarine preserves that I made out of some nectarines that had good flavor but had really kind of an icky texture. And that is the perfect thing to make jams out of. Also, something I did immediately after leaving my job was declutter. So if I have videos of it, I might have deleted them, but I might have some before and after pictures and video of stuff that I decluttered. And I did that using the KonMari method. So if anybody has any questions about that or would like to see a video, just let me know in the comments. I feel like there's a crap ton of people who have done it already, and maybe just maybe just a different perspective might be wanted. The last thing that I have to declutter I've decluttered everything except for my scarves. I didn't touch them, so maybe I'll do that on camera. Oh, and I also probably need to declutter my winter stuff, but I'll do that when we get to cold weather. It's kind of hard to decide what you will and won't wear until you get to that season. So that's kind of a brief summary of everything that happened in the past couple of months. Am I missing anything else? Told you about dehydrating. Did I tell you about camping and hiking? I've been really into camping and hiking recently. Not like I do a lot of it in any place in particular, but I have supplies to do it, and I've been doing some training hikes on the state trail with like a loaded up backpack and my hiking poles and my boots and all that good stuff. So comes my dad. So that's it for all of that stuff. So all of that recording I just did was just a little too low. Let's see if this one's better. So the last whole section was just a little too low. I think you were looking like from the top of my glasses down. I don't know that I'm going to re-record that because it's just too much work. And nobody ever said that perfection was necessary. So on to the grief arts. I think you might remember when I was knitting a whole bunch of little squares. And I did that pretty religiously. Like I would just always knit. In class, at work, at home, on the bus, just always. And so this is what it's come to thus far. It's 2, 4, 6 by 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 7. And there's 4 different colors in there. And yes, I know it's not perfect, but it's good and I like it. I don't know if I feel the need to do more knitting right now, but this makes like a nice little lap covering if I'm just sitting in a chair or something like that. Or I can use it like this, however floats my goat. But I like it, and it's nice. So that's the knitting squares. Also, remember when I told you that I was getting married, I made quilts for the humans' parents, and they didn't say whether or not they wanted them, so I'm keeping them and repurposing them / giving them to somebody else. This one was my favorite. I think it's beautiful. Okay, I don't know how good of a view you got of that one, but it's got like this pretty purple and white triangle background. Let's see. There's 9 blocks. Okay. And I went and just picked out a whole bunch of colors. A whole bunch of things in purple because that's what she said her favorite color was. So there's that one. It still has some loose strings on it that I need to cut. But that's okay. And this one is actually really nice and mellow. It's made out of 9 fat quarters, and so it's like a disappearing 9 patch. But this one's much larger. I don't know if there's an easy way to show it. And currently these are just sitting in my closet, folded up nice. Okay. Okay, and on the back of this one are cool seashells. I think that might be nice to send to Paul and Ellie, maybe. Okay, there's that. And then I got into making clothes. This one, okay. I just need you to admire probably the best invisible zipper I've ever done. right? So this is a hiking skirt. It's got a zipper in the back. It's got two pretty big pockets up front. And it's a maxi length. I haven't hemmed it because it's an A-line skirt. The thing about A-line skirts, at least for people with a little larger hips, if you're just gonna draw it, measure yourself around the widest part of your hip, hip and bum area, and keep that measurement in mind as you look at where you're going to cut. This is just cotton broadcloth. It wasn't very expensive. I could take out the zipper if I wanted to and just repurpose it. But yeah, I might do a tutorial on how to make a hiking skirt because they're really comfortable, for number one. Number two, they're modest, of course. And number three, there is nothing quite like a little bit of extra breeze when you're out there wandering about. But the downside of this skirt is it doesn't fit me because I did not pay attention to my widest hip measurement. But that's okay. It's still really nice. I might use the fabric for something else and might recover the zipper. But that's that. I mean, it's a nice looking skirt though, and it was just going to be a trial anyway. I've got nice suplex fabric in a box that I'm waiting to make a, whatchamacallit, a hiking skirt out of. Oh, I told you I went to prom, right? And when you go to prom, you dress up. So I bought a sequin tablecloth on Amazon. It was 4 yards long. And I made this shimmery sequins maxi dress out of it. It's just pretty flat in the front. And then I put 2 darts in the back. Kind of straight up and down darts. Just because it was bunching kind of funny on the top of my bum. So this pulled the fabric in so it didn't all sit in one spot. Kind of a weird way to phrase it, but it worked really well. And I didn't make a lining for it, it's just the sequins. So I just wore a black long sleeve top and a black slip underneath it. And it worked really, really well. And I wore nude heels. And they're still really pretty. This dress was super easy, and it's itchy because sequins are itchy, or at least the part that touched my skin. Alright, and then this I made today. It is a short sleeve white cotton jersey maxi dress. Again, I haven't hemmed the bottom, but I'll get to that, inshallah. But yeah, that's the stuff that I've made. What else have I been working on? Oh, just a second. Gotta be quick, battery dying. Alright, so I forgot what else I've been making. I hesitate to show this to you because I know at least one of my aunts watches these. But I hope that if she sees it, she will have tight lips about it. So, I think I showed you. I didn't show you. I made a quilt for my grandfather. Out of my grandmother's shirts. Like a big king size quilt. It was huge. It it was gigantic and overwhelming, and I think if I were to do that again, I would probably just like a larger sewing machine. But my grandfather got his big quilt. If I have pictures of it, I know somebody in particular has pictures and video of it, I'll put that here. But that's his. And I wanted my aunts to have something of their mothers as well. And I mean, we go in the house, my grandfather says, you know, I don't care what you take, but you can go ahead and take anything. So when I went back to visit him for, was it spring break? It must have been. I wasn't there for very long. But I went to visit, and I took some more of my grandmother's shirts during that time. And from that, I'm making, okay, little mini quilts / shawls. So this is what one of them looks like. Alright, and they mirror on both edges. But here's one of her t-shirts in the middle. It's from a bowling championship or bowling tournament from 2005. Where is it? In Tulsa. Okay, so people can either use these as like a small quilt, again it's a good size for just covering your legs, or as a shawl, which is how I found it online, as a shawl. I'm gonna back it in either more cotton, or like a shawl like this, you know, so I'll put either some Velcro or some buttons or something along the center so you can go and then flip out the neck. So I'll either treat these exactly like a quilt and do batting and another layer of cotton, or I could do fleece on the inside or something soft like that, you know? I think that might be nice. So that's one of them, and I've only made 2 thus far. I have to do them when my heart's in them.